From baseball, we're talking hoops.
Hoops. Okay, so it finally went down, this trade for James Harden to the Clippers. Is this going to work?
Nice question in the headline. Did they need him?
Yeah.
He brings firepower. He brings experience. He brings leadership. He brings selfishness. He brings an image of creating instability. He's a star with a track record, 24 points per game over the course of his really good career, but he's a troubled star in the past. How he acted in Houston, what he did in Brooklyn, the end result in Philadelphia. Now, here's the question. Last I checked, John, the NBA rule says only one basketball on the floor at a time. How are you going to distribute the basketball to all those guys who need the basketball? Harden surely needs it. Kawhi, Paul George, Russell Westbrook. So is he coming in to be a shooter or coming in here to be a distributor? Are there enough balls there? Here's a wild card question, though. Think about this. Not only you're getting a firepower guy with great experience, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe they made this trade as an insurance policy.
Yeah.
If one of those other stars breaks down again, and Kawhi and Paul George have had devastating injuries over the last 3 years, if one of them goes down again, then you got Harden's 24 points per game offense kind of replace their offense. Now, I don't know how the chemistry with Harden and Russell Westbrook works. One guy comes off the bench, the other guy has to be the starter. The other intriguing thing, did they really give up anything? They gave up 4 forwards, all of them who were guys on the bench that come off and play. Mm-hmm. Marcus Morris and Robert Covington and Nick Batum. I don't think they gave up much. The number 1 pick is way down road. Who knows whether we're still going to be doing this podcast when that number 1 pick comes up and where that number 1 pick will be. And the number 2 picks aren't worth anything. And they do have to sign him to an extension. He's making $36.5 this final year of the contract before free agency. That's not a problem. I mean, I know you got a lot of money, not as much as Steve Ballmer, who's worth $88 million. So I don't think that's a problem either. So is it a great acquisition? I don't know. What are you getting? Toxic talent? Is it a quality acquisition because he becomes an insurance policy? Did you get an all-star, 10-time all-star? And you didn't really give up anything. So at the end of the day, John Riley, good deal or bad for the Clips?
Well, I mean, if you just look at the surface level of the deal, one would say it's probably a good trade. I remember when they got Marcus Morris, and Clipper fans were excited, but he wasn't that big of a difference maker. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those other guys, Covington, they're role guys. The issue here is that they must have had a conversation with James Harden to talk about what his role was going to be, because he can't expect to be the primetime guy when he's surrounded by these other Hall of Famers. So hopefully they've worked out a system where, he's going to have his own role that's going to be complementary to other guys' roles. And I don't know if James Harden has the ego to do that. So we're going to find out. The insurance policy angle is an interesting, part of the story. And I think it makes sense, because if Paul George and Kawhi get injured in the middle of the year, you need somebody to carry you through, hopefully get those guys healthy for the playoffs. But I don't know. I mean, just this recipe could blow up in their face.
There's a track record. This is a unique chemistry experiment. But just what scares the daylights out of me is his track record and how he's acted every place that he's gone. And if you think Kyrie Irving is a problem player, this guy is right on the same plane with Kyrie Irving. Love me not. Happy, I am not happy. Give me my money. Only time will tell. Okay, that's another question on Fans Forum if you're an NBA fan. Did they need him? That's a good headline. Jump on board. Join us in the chat room. From